Hey, hope you're well. This is Edward again, and I want to share a new video today that is going to be related to how to critically think on deciding whatever you want to do next as far as business. And if you're looking to get into any business opportunity or you want to see if something is a fit for you, I'm going to share with you a concept that I use to help a lot of my clients identify if that set thing might be a better thing for them or not. Because sometimes a lot of people are getting on calls with different people and they're not sure what to do next. And maybe somebody's consulting them to do X, Y, and Z. Somebody else is telling them A, B, C, and then they don't know what to do next. So you got to really understand yourself at a deeper level and spend time with understanding your needs before you would go and pursue something. And I want to kind of share with you some thoughts that I have related to that. So first things first is when you're looking at deciding to do something, it doesn't matter if it's a business opportunity or if it's a business you want to get into, a way of creating more income for you and your family or anything like that. You really got to look at your current situation. And a lot of the times you need to look into it with a lot more um, essentially realistically look at the situation instead of like exaggerating everything you have, right? So first things first is you're going to look into what capital availability you have as far as you potentially using or investing in the said opportunity. So I'll give an example. Maybe you have $20,000 or maybe you have $2 million, dollars, but you can only use, let's say, $10,000 at that particular time, or maybe you can use only $1 million or $500,000. So you got to understand what's your initial capital you're playing with, because that's going to define your current financial situation. And then the second thing you want to understand is um, what sort of time you have available. So a person that has, let's say, $10,000 might have a lot more time available, maybe than a person who has millions of dollars right now, like what that's watching the video, right? So you got to understand, okay, so this is what times I'm actually realistically having right now based on my schedule and based on what I'm doing. Maybe you have a corporate job, maybe you have a business, maybe you're self-employed, maybe you have free businesses. I don't know, right? So you need to understand realistically what you're dealing with time and money. Those are the two essential concepts, right? Now, you can't really create a lot more time in most cases. So what you can create is you can create a better schedule for yourself and potentially optimize sometimes some time here and there, but ultimately you're going to be limited to whatever your current situation is, and that's going to be a logistical kind of bottleneck. This is how much money you have, this is how much time you have. And the first thing I'm going to look into is like what current industries you've been involved into and what current skill sets you have. What are the things that you've done in the past that were successful and you have case studies, a track record, affinity with, and you can deploy some of these things in your future projects or your future things you are going to be part of. So that way it's an easier transition, it's a more successful transition. So again, capital, time, and experiences and things you've done. Those are primarily the things that I'm going to be looking at if I'm analyzing a person and looking at a person. Some of the questions you got to figure out for yourself. Now, aside from that, is you want to really understand is like what is the biggest challenge you're having right now? Is it that you're essentially making good income right now, but you can't really build up more wealth on the side just because you're kind of like stuck working so much in the day-to-day job or in the day-to-day business, and you can't really build a lot more wealth or equity on the side. And you got to kind of dive deep into that situation. You got to understand what is the root cause of that issue, what's actually happening day to day for you that's causing you to maybe feel anxiety or be stressed or potentially not feel as fulfilled or as happy with your current situation. So again, what you're doing is you're not only looking at all the logistical things, but you're looking at your emotional state and how that's affecting other areas of your life, right? You need to dive deep with yourself because if you're not going to dive deep with yourself and you're not going to analyze this, you're not really going to know what you're actually trying to solve and what you're trying to achieve on the back end of you doing something. Because maybe that something you're seeking doesn't actually deliver any of these things. And then what you want to understand is if this is your current situation and you have a lot of these issues and these issues are affecting you this particular way, you want to understand where you want to go, what are the goals and what are the destinations and what where you want to actually be as far as your goals. And this exercise is really going to give you a lot of clarity because you're going to start defining some of your long-term goals, some of your short-term goals, some of your milestones you want to hit, and most importantly, the reasons you want to get to that point. And if you get to that point, will some of your challenges and some of your fears or some of your issues you're going through in your life right now in your business, are they going to dissipate? Are they going to disappear basically, or are they going to be minimized? And if that's true, then it's probably worth pursuing some of these goals, some of these concepts you have in your mind as far as doing that. Now, the other third question that is not related to your current situation and your desires and your goals is really going to be the vehicle, which is like, does the said vehicle in front of you right now, let's say you want to start a company, or let's say you want to invest in crypto, or let's say you want to do something else, right? Well, does that particular thing, that vehicle, you need to understand it. You need to spend time studying that. You need to spend time with experts to see that vehicle or that asset or whatever you're getting into is going to deliver the set milestones and expectations you have around your goals. And it's going to solve you're going to go from your current situation to wherever goals you have. And what is the timeline of you actually getting to that point? A lot of people would tell you, hey, this is a set timeline. And you got to understand what is the realistic timeline from different individuals and different experts. And then not only what is the timeline, but what is the actual process through the timeline? What do you need to do first? What do you got to do second? What do you got to do third? And what are the consequences if I do all these things? How much time it actually takes for me to do all these things? Not the timeline of going from A to B, which is like, let's say 6 months, but the time I need to spend every day doing it for 6 months, right? And then if you compare all these things to the goals and to the current situation, is this motivating it enough for you to actually to pursue this? And in most cases, if it is, you're going to pursue it. If it's not as motivating, and then you're not going to pursue it. Now, an interesting thing is a lot of people don't understand how to set up goals, and some people don't understand how to analyze the said thing and how to get more help. But in most cases, you got to talk to more people that are experts, and in most cases, you need to spend more time with a pen and paper and figuring out the goals and the vision. Otherwise, you're going to be in a situation where you're not self-aware, you don't understand what you want, and you're not picking the right thing for you to be able to get to that place. And a lot of business owners are making that mistake almost every day when they're choosing what problem they have and how to prioritize and how to solve it. And this is why they get stuck at like 1 million revenue. They can go to 2 million revenue or 5 million or 10 million revenues because of that whole concept. Easier said than done, but hopefully these kind of ideas and these thought processes have helped you identify maybe some of the blind spots you have, because in most cases we all have blind spots. And by you spending time with yourself and writing a lot of these things down without any distractions, you will figure out what's going to be the next step for you. If you need more help, specifically on implementing this, maybe just DM me on LinkedIn. Happy to spend some time with you to clarify some of these things. And maybe you're choosing something you're not sure of. But in general, I specialize in high level stuff as far as business and acquiring firms, acquiring companies. That's what I do. And if you need more help, happy to get in touch. But hopefully, this was a little bit of a different video today, and I wanted to share that. Hopefully, this is helpful. And if you need more stuff, or if you need me to post more videos on any other topics, let me know. But subscribe to the channel as well, and thank you for watching. Thanks.